Good day, everyone. Anna here with another PulseChain Grace Currencies stream. We're going to talk about pTGC and UFO. Kind of let some people jump in. If somebody wouldn't mind letting me know that you can hear me, please let me know you can hear me or not. That way I can fix things. While I'm waiting for you, I will check my audio. I haven't changed anything, so we should be good. But we have had surprises lately. Joel Gallagher. Cool. Thank you for confirming that. Appreciate having you here. I don't think I've seen you before. All right. Well, usually what I do. Okay, so let me just tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go look at Deck Screener for a little bit. Look at the markets. Hey, Joshua. And then we're going to, how do we do this? I've got my outline right here, just so you know. I'm not winging this. That would be scary. And then we're going to talk about pTGC and UFO, what they are. We're going to kind of highlights. We're going into the D app where you can interact with the contract, and I will show you what you can do with these tokens. And I'm going to show you some slides that I've created that highlight what these tokens have done that will give us some indication of where they could perhaps go in this cycle and maybe even into the future. And then we're going to talk about, like, toward the end, we're going to talk about like how you can get these tokens, where you can transact to get them into your wallet and all that stuff. So if you have any questions, by all means, drop them into the chat. Good day, David and Crypto Wash. It's good to see you guys. Yeah, I think we really got the word out about this one. And things are hopping. Let me just go fix something at my window here. This flashing light from cars driving by. Hold on. I'm in an office building on a busy road. So, okay, let's do it. Let's look at, things are hopping today. So, and I was just doing a little bit of investigating. You know what I found out? I'll just tell you. pTGC in the last year, since July 16th, 2024, is up. Let's see, it was up 25x against PLS. I think it's like 15x up against USD. It's pretty good performance. That's like, actually, that's 25 times 14, so it's up 350x. Good grief. Yeah, that's good. Because that's a multiplier effect. Like we're outperforming the layer one, just like Hex did in the previous cycle. So Hex famously did a 10,000x. But what people may not understand is that it actually did a 1,000x, but the layer one it was on did a 10x, which means 10 times 1,000, which is 10,000x. So that's how the math works. I learned that. I stole that from Zan, the founder of the Grace Currencies. So he's been highlighting that on the spaces, which you guys should come to if you're available. Let's look at the chart. What do we got? Let's look at Bitcoin first. Give me a second. Let me get my eyeballs on it. I read on Twitter somewhere that we touched off 123,000. We really did. We did. No, hold up. It was close. 122.7. And then today it's pumping. It's up 2.2% in the last 24 hours, which is a big move for Bitcoin. Look down here, it went up 4%. That's a huge candle. So that's 4%. So even single-digit percentage moves for Bitcoin are worth noting, right? And now how is I've got my little sidebar list here disorganized presently on purpose. Well, if Ethereum is at 3240, that is wonderful. How's it doing on the daily? Wow, it is flying, man. It really is. Okay, let's look at that back on the monthly. Oh yeah, man. This is what I'm really interested in is this month of July right here. June was a red month. I mean, this, in my opinion, is where the cycle started. Like this is where, okay, let me flip this chart to Bitcoin because this is what I wanted to highlight is that right here at this bottom, this is where Ethereum started outperforming Bitcoin. And we want to see it outperform Bitcoin because the liquidity is going to flow from Bitcoin. People are going to make their gains there. Then they'll flip them into the altcoins, probably beginning with Ethereum. Ethereum's going to pop up against Bitcoin. And so basically, Bitcoin, although it is still increasing, if it's the correct way, it is losing its dominance. And Ethereum is gaining dominance. It will lose its dominance, and that liquidity will flow into the altcoins, which we are into over PulseChain. PulseChain, I guess you can look at it as almost like an altcoin. It's definitely a first cycle layer one, and pTGC and UFO are built upon that. They're built on PulseChain. So when that liquidity flows from Ethereum, PulseChain, the alts, it could get very interesting. So that's Ethereum. Now let's look at pTGC and UFO. pTGC in terms of USD, let's put it on the daily. We got a really nice green candle. We're up 16% in the last 24 hours. That's beautiful. But I want to show you guys a little trick that you guys can do. And many of you guys may not know this. I learned this when I came into this ecosystem because, you know, these are tokens. These are an index token, which we're going to talk about. They're an index of the best tickers on Pulse Network. And they're outperforming those tickers. And the way you can see that is by flipping the chart from USD to the paired asset. So on your deck screener, you see this USD right here? Change that to WPLS. And we'll see pTGC in terms of WPLS. See this large green candle right here? That was an enormous move from, see that over there, 11.27 PLS, all the way up to 12.8. 12.8 PLS per pTGC. Right now we're pushing, and that, you can see that number over here. We're pushing 12. I am hoping we go past 13 today and stay above there. We have been as high as 22 pulse per pTGC. That was probably back in February of this year. That's pTGC. And here's UFO. On the daily in USD, nice green candle, up 11% for the day. Let's have a look at it in terms, and I didn't look at this, guys, before the stream. In terms of WPLS, we're up. It's beautiful. So let's see, 9 days ago, we had a push all the way up to 0.7 PLS per UFO. Right now, we're at 0.67. And we have been over 1. It was quite some time ago, but we were well over 1. I think we almost made it to 2 pulse per UFO. And we're going back there. I'm highly confident, fully confident we're going back there, and it could be soon. So what you guys do is, like, if you're holding core assets or any assets that are paired with pTGC and UFO, do that same trick. Can I call it a trick? Go to your deck screener and look at your asset paired in terms of pTGC or UFO, and then ask yourself, if this is the case, and this is the case with all the core tickers, we're going to see that in one of the slides that I've built, all the core assets, and we're not dissing those assets we love. Richard Hart, we're built on his ecosystem. We love his tokens. We're bonded and burn a lot of his tokens. We're depending on those tokens to like lift pTGC and UFO up as we go into the cycle. They're going to do it. It just so happens that we outperform them. So not everybody's going to flip out of those assets in pTGC and UFO. Don't need to worry about that. But for you, go to your desk screener, and if you have a bag of hacks, for example, look at the pTGC hex pair or the UFO hex pair, and then zoom out like all the way. I'll show you. I gotta show this because I'm really kind of. If I don't, I'm not like backing up my claim with evidence, right? So let's go back to deck screener. I really want to show this to you. We're going to pull up where are we at? Let's do pTGC because it has a longer history. Right. What do you guys want to do? I mean, I'll do hex, but if you have another one that you want to check out, just drop it in the chat, okay? Drop it in the chat. I mean, you can do pulse X. We already looked at pulse, but that's the layer one. It's almost like a coin, whereas the other ones are tokens. So I'm going to look at like the tokens. Your mic is wrecked. What's wrong with my mic? Can you guys hear me? And J-Dub? Like, what's wrong with my mic? Can you describe it? Because I'm seeing deflection on my mic. Let's look at the pTGC hex pair. And it is off today, but still okay. My mic is off today, but still okay. It's not okay with me. Hold on, let me check my settings. Input HyperX Quadcast. Yeah, man. Old season started. pTGC and UFO gonna go bananas. Makes me think you're going through your computer. Well, yeah. Give me a second. I don't understand. Sounds fine, but maybe a little echoing and not the mic going through your computer. Yeah, but the settings are, give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I think I know how to maybe fix this. No? Hold on, guys. Maybe. Picks up normal every few minutes. Is that better, guys? Let me know if that's better. I just changed the setting. If you guys be so kind, let me know if it sounds good. Because I don't echoing really. Give me a second here. External, that's the output. This is the input. Da, da, da. I'm so sorry. Step back and talk. I mean, how's this sound? We're doing mic troubleshooting while live. Great. Okay, let me go have a look here. I don't know how I can be. It was way worse last week's sound. Okay, so we're just gonna go with it. We're just going with it. It's off, but fine if you're close up. Okay, so just got to be close to the mic. Acoustics are off. Oh, guys, I'm so embarrassed because I thought I had this fixed. I'm trying to think. I got my StreamYard. Just give me a second to go to StreamYard. And that audio settings are correct there. On my computer, let me double check. On the computer, sound settings, there could be, the input is through the mic right here, so, okay, JP says the sound is good. Thank you, JP. We're going with it. And if you guys can say, whether the sound improves or it's wrecked or whatever. Thanks, David. Okay. What I'll do is I'll listen to it after the stream. I'll actually listen to it on YouTube, and that will help me perhaps figure it out. Okay, so let's get back on track. So pTGC versus hex. We pulled up the chart. Let's flip it to hex. This is where the rubber meets the road, guys. Like, how is pTGC performing against USD? We know it's up and to the right. Okay, we know it's up and to the right. Look at that. Now, in terms of hex, even more beautiful chart. Can I put it that way? It's even more consistent compared to the two charts over. So from the second week, PTDC is up 82,000% against X. Good morning, Kurt. We'll see you later. Funny guy. So there you go, guys. Are you holding Hex? Pulse X? Are you holding Pulse? I don't hold. I don't hold any of those. I flipped them all into PTDC. I'm serious, guys. I had a come to Jesus meeting with myself and my asset wallets. And at the end of last year, it's like I just pulled up. I did exactly what we did here, and I pulled the next year. And I was like, I'm gonna keep a moon bag, but I'm flipping all this in the grace. I'm really that's what I did. Okay, we're getting about ready to show some slides. I gotta keep on task on that little over here. So we did that, and we did that. Is there any news, guys? The sound is terrible again. Ooh, you know what it is? I've got too many tabs open. That is exactly what it is. I'm sure of it. Watch. I'm glad you said something again. I bet it improves now. It was that I had too many tabs open. 100%. All right. Did I close that? Why is it not closing? Okay, let me see what else I have open that I can close. No. Okay. Brilliant. It's better. Better. You did it. You guys are funny. You guys are cracking me up. Hey, let me know if that fixed it. I did a little bit of maintenance on my computer before stream today. Cleared cache and all that stuff. So let me know if it sounds better. Yes, it's better. All right. We're moving on, guys. All right, here's my famous chart. I actually reached out to Slade for a new copy because this one is, yeah, I mean, it's dated. Look at that date on there. Oh, good. All right, I got to remember that. Like, close my browser tab. Close it because I have so much stuff on my Chrome. That's what it was. Thanks, guys. And he made this slide for us. Now, this is on the 31st of January, but I reached out to him just a little bit ago. I'm like, dude, let's see if we can get an update on this slide, even though it may not look wonderful. But I think it'll still tell a story, a story of a positive future for the Grays currencies. But look at that, PTDC and UFO up, up and to the right, whereas the core assets look like they're having a little bit of trouble. Now, I'm not bearish on the core assets. I think they're going to absolutely crush it this cycle, and we're going to ride that wave up. Now, PTDC and UFO are index tokens. We touched on that. What that means is that they are effectively, because they're tied to these other assets, the core assets and others, you can hold these tokens and they're like a proxy or a claim check on all the tokens that they're bonded with. So you can actually like increase your bag of Pulse by holding PTDC. And here's an example. Last August 26th, PTDC finally made it to 1-to-1 with Pulse. It cost 1 Pulse for 1 PTDC. Right now, it costs almost 13 Pulse per PTDC. So if a guy had flipped his Pulse bag into PTDC on August 26th last year, he would be up 13x on his Pulse. He could literally take 1/13 of his PTDC bag, go buy back all of his Pulse, and he would still have his 12x bag of PTDC. That's brilliant. We're an index token. That's what PTDC and UFO are. And their biggest pair, if you guys want to see all of the pairs and some interesting information about these tokens, go to look into pTGC.com. Look into pTGC.com, and you can see the liquidity for each of them in total, and then for individually, then you can see the volume in total and individually. and you can see all the pairs that pTGC and UFO are paired with. And actually, we should probably go to that site because a lot of people don't know how to navigate it. So give me a second. Now we'll get it pulled up, and there's a video on my YouTube channel if you want to look at that too. But here, real quick, I can show you guys how to do this. secretobank.com. This was our first ecosystem utility metrics kind of site. What you'll do is select volume, then select pTGC or UFO. And by the way, you can put any asset that you want in here. But let's go to UFO. In this example, there's the contract address. It fills it in automatically. Select check volume, and it's checking, or it already did. Let's see. Oh, I didn't, somehow I didn't select that. Check volume. Okay, we're going to sort by liquidity. It's liquidity with pTGC is the biggest. So pTGC and UFO have the thickest bonding, followed by PLS, and then PulseX, Hex, Inc., and so on. Now, down at the bottom, you can see the total volume, $17,000. Total liquidity, $7 million. And then it breaks it down a little bit. It gives you more, not granular, but more like a graph representation at the bottom there of the volume. So that's look into ptgc.com. That's free. You guys, we're trying to make all of our tools free, by the way, guys, because we want you to be adequately equipped as an investor to make good decisions in this ecosystem with the tokens that you hold. All right, so that's secretobank.com. Now let's talk about the differences between pTGC and UFO. And basically, pTGC is a 5% fee. Its LP is burnt, like 90+% of all the LP is burnt LP. It cannot be rugged. It is more than 21 months old. 12.5% of the tokens are burned. It has about 15,000 wallets, and 2,650 of those wallets hold $1,000 or more. So what's that telling us? That we are early. UFO, 6%. It's a 6% community fee. The LP is all provided by the users. It's about 15 months old. Actually, now I need to update the slide. 8% of the tokens have been burned. There are 6,000 wallets, and 815 wallets hold about $1,000 or more of UFO. The fees. pTGC's fees breaks down to 2% to the DAO, 1% to the holders, 1% stakers, 0.5% buys and burns pTGC, 0.5% goes into the pTGC PLS pair. And those tokens, those PLP tokens are burned. UFO, 3% goes to the LP providers, 1% to holders, 1% burns UFO, 1% burns pTGC. And this is how, okay, let me give you a little bit of context here. So this next slide is the AMM bots. I'm going to let you look at it, but I'm not going to explain it because I didn't build this slide. But I can tell you that the AMM bots is probably, aside from the raving fans in our community, the AMM bots is the thing that pushed me over the edge into that got me, it got me excited when I came in and I was like, oh, you mean we got AMM bots working for us and we don't even technically need users? We just get to leverage those bots that are working 24/7, 365 days a year, and they're paying those fees. Yeah, in pTGC and UFO, the AMM bots are balancing the pairs all across the network and paying the 5% fee and the 6% fee, and they don't even complain. All they need to do is make a little bit of profit, and they're going to pay the fee. Rewarding holders, rewarding stakers, rewarding LP providers, all of that the AMM bots are doing automatically. And that just, I mean, does it get any better? It's called like passive income. They say cash is king. Well, what's passive income? It's the kingdom. and the AMM bots are providing that for us. Good morning, Shaka. 24/7. And you don't got to pay their taxes. They never call in sick. It's beautiful. So here's that slide. You guys can take a screenshot of that if you want to. But whenever any pair goes out of balance, the AMM bots job is to go and balance the pair. It'll buy and sell out of all the pairs to make all the pairs equal, because we need to have equal pairs in the network. And so that's their job. And we're very thankful for them. Okay, so one thing that I want you to be aware of is that, that it clearly pTGC and UFO rewards tokens. We're going to talk about that when we get into the moon math. But one thing I want you to understand is that whenever the price is, let's say the price is low right now, because I do think it is. Our all-time high was like, what, a 10x from here or something like that. And so let's just say the price is low. When the price is low, the AMM bots are buying more tokens. Like, for example, let's say there's a transaction for $1,000. $50 of that is going toward the fee. 40% of that $50 goes to holders and stakers. Well, the contract is buying a certain number of tokens with that $1,000. But that $1,000 at 10x from here is going to buy 10x fewer tokens. So the holders and stakers are going to receive the same value of tokens, just in fewer tokens. So when price is low, you're going to get more tokens. When price is high, you're going to get fewer tokens, same value. Okay. And I want you guys to understand that, because, as price goes up, we're going to get fewer tokens, but they're going to be worth more. And what we've seen by looking at the history, good day, Ovidian Hex, is that as price goes up, volume has gone up. And I hope I have a slide. I think I have a slide that illustrates this. I hope I do. I hope it's in my slide deck. But that's very exciting. Like, as volume goes up, price goes up. Yeah, I do have a slide. Like, almost had a 1-to-1. It's like, what in the world is this alien tech Gray's currencies thing? This is amazing. Yeah, that's why we're here. That's why Prairie Banana went ballistic when he came into this ecosystem, and like, why aren't more people talking about this? Well, here we are. We're talking about it. pTGC held the line during the last months. We did very good compared to everything else. We did. Oh, we did. Yeah, I've done my own little research. And if you want to, I'm not going to mention any names, but little ecosystems that popped up and refer to themselves as being, we're another pTGC. Well, guess what? They're not doing so great right now. I'm not saying that they can't come out of left field and do wonderful. I hope nobody gets wrecked, but the fact of the matter is, just do some comparisons. You guys might know who they are. Do your own homework if you want to. If you're researching, you should do some homework. And if you need some more information on that, reach out to me directly on Twitter or Telegram. Yeah, I don't answer any messages on YouTube. I'm not that advanced. So if you message me on YouTube in the comments, that'll help the algorithm, but you're probably not going to hear a reply. Sorry, guys. So pTGC and UFO. Ooh, I'm missing a slide. I'm going to show it to you later. It's in the slide deck, but made a discovery last Spaces on Saturday that, pTGC and UFO each have their own alien tech and superpower. Okay. They each have their own, but like pTGC has 2 alien techs and 1 superpower. UFO has 2 superpowers and 1 alien tech. Okay, if that makes sense. I'll show you the slide. But the one I'm going to highlight here for pTGC is, get this, there's more going into the system than can be extracted from the system, from the fee, the 5% fee. Because you got your 5% fee that's broken up. Let's just pull up the slide. You've got 0.5% that goes to LP, 0.5% burns tokens, 2% goes to the DAO. What does the DAO do with every PLS that comes to it? It always does things that will benefit the system, that will benefit the holders, that will benefit the the token, the future of the token. It's going to buy and burn pTGC, or it's going to LP pTGC with another asset that it thinks is a good speculative move to help pTGC to grow. So you got effectively 3% going into the system, 2% can be extracted. Why? Because 2% goes to holders and stakers. They can extract value from the system. Now, we have proven as holders to be very diamond-handed, because if you come into the system, and one of the benefits of coming to a stream like this is you are going to understand after this presentation a lot more about what you hold. And when you understand what you hold, you're less likely to let go of that asset, right? So Gray's currencies holders, the ones that know what they're holding, are diamond-handed. We're not letting go anytime soon of what we got. And I'll state it again. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. Drop them in the chat and I will address your questions. All right. Give me a second. I got to get my eyes on what I'm doing here. What I'm doing. Funny. Okay. Oh, that's a slide. Oh yeah, we got it. We got it. Yep. More going in. There's more coming in the system with every buy, sell, and transfer than can be extracted. And what does that mean? This is a forever up token. It will always be increasing its price floor. What separates pTGC? What separates pTGC from other tokens? I posted about this. I posted a video about this on Twitter this morning. What separates pTGC is the DAO, the decentralized autonomous organization. That is what allows pTGC to move on a dime. We can pivot like a ship on the sea. Now, we're not fixed to a track. We can only go forward and backwards. We can circumnavigate obstacles. A train could just crash through them. That's the beauty of pTGC, is its DAO, and it allowing to pivot with market changes, to snipe opportunities, to hodl as it's doing, hodling PLS for what? Opportunities, because opportunities don't come around every day, but maybe they come around once a month. And because you got 2% of that 5% going into the DAO treasury, and the DAO can just be like, you know what, we're going to just hold on to this because everything's going sideways. Everything's chilling right now, but we're still having volume on the network. So we're going to stack up this PLS, and when an opportunity comes up, we're going to snipe it. We did that with, what's that one on Pumped Out Tires? Most token. We nailed that within, I think, 36, 48 hours and had everybody's money back effectively within just a few days. And we still have a pair with it. And it's not even burned LP. Good day, Condor. Good day, everyone. Good to see you, man. All right, so we're a ship on the sea, guys. And we have I think we have 5. Do we have 5 billion? I think we have, Shaka, if you're still here, you can confirm. I think we have 5 billion PLS in our treasury, which is like 300 grand, worth of economic energy. So that's the big thing for me that separates pTGC from other tokens, is that DAO. So just so you know, we're going to go to the DApp next and look at what you can do with your pTGC, which is 3 things. Okay, so you want to talk about what you can do with your pTGC and UFO? 3 things with pTGC, 2 with UFO. You can hold your pTGC. You can stake it and you still earn holding rewards. You can lock it and you still earn staking and holding rewards. With UFO, you can hold it and you can LP. You can provide LP with any of the RH tickers on the DApp. That's the basics. Okay. Then we're going to look at the DApp. We're going to walk through how you can, stake and lock your tokens. Okay. And again, you got any questions, drop them in. When you do, okay, the Grays taught the humans how to maintain custody of their tokens, how to obey that admonishment. Remember, we got it from Richard Hart. He's a big fan of self-custody. You don't want to give your tokens up to a contract. because then that contract, if all these tokens are in this contract, it's just like a big honeypot for some scammer, or not scammers so much, but what do you call them? Those people that creep into computers and mess things up. We don't want to be a honeypot. So we have custody of our stake tokens and our LP tokens. We hold our PLP tokens in UFO. And when you stake your tokens, you're still going to see them in pTGC. You'll see them in your wallet. Even when you're locked, you're going to see them in your wallet. And it actually adds a layer of theft protection, which has worked on a number of occasions, because people don't understand. You got to unstake those tokens. You got to unlock them. Then you got to unstake them. And then you can move them. Most people don't know that. Okay, so let's look at the dApp. Give me a second. I'll pull it up. Get a drink of water. Screen went blank. I just about lost it. I was like, oh no. Just DM'd you the updated DAO numbers in the TG. Cool. Thank you very much. Let's get those. I want to make sure that I'm on top here. Let's see. 5. I can't show this on the screen. pTGC DAO funds in Pulse. The total is 6.6 million Pulse, or $192,000 worth of Pulse. Yeah, man. So we are hodling Pulse on the side, just like any good investor would hodl USDC or stablecoin. Yeah, that's cool. I don't think we weren't doing that. I don't think we were doing that for a while, but we recently started, and I bet that number is going to increase. Yeah, I think it's going to increase. Oh, I'm not even so, because I deleted all my cookies and stuff, it logged me out. So let me log into my wallet real quick, guys. That way I can have a wallet connected to the dApp while I show you the dApp, because you're going to want to see the numbers. Give me a second. All right, good pump day. I love a pump day. I like a sideways day too, because when things start pumping, things get crazy. But it does help I don't know if it helps. It probably helps your disposition. It helps mine. So this wallet has a 1 million pTGC staked and locked, and that's the proper order. First, you buy it, so you're holding it, you're earning reflections. Then you stake it if you want to, and you have to be staked in order to lock. And then you got to go in reverse. You got to unlock, then you can unstake. So holding is easy. You're going to earn reflections, and they come into your wallet in a kind of a creepy alien tech sort of way. They just show up. You literally do not need to do anything to get the reflections into your wallet. They just appear, guys. I'm not even kidding. Go check it out for yourself. When you hold pTGC, just wait 10 minutes, refresh the screen, and you'll see that your balance increased. It's really cool. I don't know that there's another fee-based token that does it the same way. But if you want to earn more, and let me look at my records here. We are earning about, where is it? 61% more for staking versus holding. Okay. If you want to stake, this is where you go. PulseTGC.com. PulseTGC.com. Select staking. Scroll down, and you guys can explore these boxes on your own. But let's say that you have some liquid pTGC in your wallet. You want to stake it. You'll select the stake button. Don't do it. Don't stake until you've seen this full presentation, because we're going to talk about unstaking. And you can stake however many tokens you want. There's no time frame. Notice there's no time frame built into this, because you're just going to make a stake. It's one stake per wallet, and there's no end date. You can unstake it anytime you want. You can claim your rewards anytime. You can claim them every day if you want. It's probably too frequent. Once a week is enough. Otherwise, you're really just you're just wasting your time. It's really, do your homework on it. It's not effective. So once a week is probably enough, unless you get a large volume of yield. I do recommend compounding your yield back into your stake or a lock or something like that, or just at least holding it into your wallet, because right now this 6,615 rewards from staking are held in the contract. They're not earning any reflections right now. But as soon as I claim them, they will go to my wallet. They'll begin earning reflections. And then it's like the power of compound interest. Now, if I wanted to withdraw this stake or end this stake, I have the ability to end a portion of the stake or the whole thing. Now, whatever portion I end stake or withdraw, I will pay a 1% fee, which goes back to all the other stakers. So there's another place that we are all earning pTGC from. It's from people that are ending their stakes. So check this out. It's 1% fee that goes to all the other stakers for ending their stake. 30% goes to all the other lockers for ending a lock early. You can end a lock once it's mature, no harm, no foul. Then you unstake, 1% fee. But if you end a lock early, it's 30%, which goes to all the other lockers. So picture this. Somebody early ends their lock. What do you think they're going to do? What do you think their plans are? Why would somebody early end lock pTGC? Because they want to do something with those tokens. It's pretty obvious. Otherwise, you just let them sit there. So somebody pays a 30% penalty, which goes to lockers. Then they're going to unstake those tokens. So now they're at 31%, which goes to all the stakers. So if you're a locker, you're in that bunch. There's 31%. And then what are they going to do? They're probably going to move those tokens to another wallet or or they're going to swap. They're going to swap maybe on PulseX for PLS, and there's going to be a 5% fee right there. And there's 2% out of that. So you're at 31. I think you're at 33%. If everybody that unlocks is actually not, it's not just 30%. It's more like 33% that they're nuking that actually gets paid to all the other stakers and lockers. That's how it works. Well, the stakers don't earn the locking penalties, but the lockers do. The lockers are raking it in. But we're going to talk about that. There's more to it. So when you stake, no time commitment, you're going to make about 61% more versus just holding. But there is a 1% penalty if you end your stake. But the ROI time, from my estimation, is about 100 days. It all depends on volume on the network and price appreciation of the tokens. Now, if you wanted to lock, this is where you would do it. Let me connect this other wallet. I've got another wallet that I can, not necessarily my wallet, and I will pop it up because I want to show you guys a ladder. Let's look at this one. Okay, it's going to take a second. Actually, I should probably just refresh my screen. Oh, there it goes. So what this guy did is he made a locking ladder. Now it's one stake per wallet, but you can have multiple locks per wallet. And what I recommend right from the go is don't lock a big old bag. That's my non-financial advice. If you lock an entire bag and then suddenly you realize you want access to those tokens, you got to unlock the whole bag. Why not break it up into smaller locks? Okay, and then you can go a step further, as this gentleman has done, and it looks like he built a ladder. Yep, he's got locks maturing at the end of this year, the following year, the year after that, and so on. And then down here, he has multiple 10-year locks. Look at this, multiple 10-year locks. So he did it right, in my opinion. That's a good way to do it. And yes, it is a lot of locks to claim, but there is a DApp. Look into ptgc.com. Right now it's behind the paywall. It's going through it. Look into ptgc.com right now is in a state of flux. We're going to get it going. And it's going to be a tool that I think everybody's going to have access to. So for free, that's what we're playing it for. And with Look Into, you can claim all of your locking rewards in one click without having to go through each one of those individually, you see. So that's going to be very, very nice to have as a community, because if you got all those locks, it's a pain in the butt to go claim them. So what else we got to say about locking? Well, like what I did personally is I did some 10-year locks, and then I did a locking ladder. Every year I've got a bag coming. What am I going to do with it? I don't know. I may do nothing with it. And I actually got to show you guys the locking tiers. And then I made some 90-day locks, which are mature. But here you go. Here's the locking tiers. Oh, and the locking rewards that you saw on this page, let me show it to you. The locking rewards also stay in the contract. See this claimable from locking? It's in the contract. When you claim it right over here, it's a staking rewards. Where's the staking rewards? Claimable pTGC from. I'm really having a brain fog right now. Withdraw claim. That's claim from taking. Where is the claim? Oh, duh. Right down here. When you claim these tokens from the locking rewards, they'll go to your wallet, and then you can. They're already staked, but they'll start earning. How do you put it? Oh, the claim tokens. Oh, the claim tokens are not staked. When you claim those, they're going to go straight to your wallet from the contract. They're going to start earning reflections, and then you can stake them. Then you can lock them. Sorry to be a little bit confused, but that's why you're here, because you're going to be even more confused, especially if I confuse you. So sorry. It's not. This is a complicated ecosystem, but you just got to spend some time at it, and you'll get it. You'll get it faster. You'll get it faster than me. Hey guys, I'm Gen X. Okay, all this stuff is. You think it's difficult for you? It's 3 times worse for me, because not only am I a Gen X. I'll stop. So here's the lock-in ladder. You can lock from 90 days. That's the minimum, up to 10 years, which is 3,650 days. That's the maximum. 90-day locks. See that 55%? That means you keep 55%. So those lock-in rewards that you saw on the DApp, if those were 90-day locks, when you claim the tokens, you're going to keep 55%. The other 45% goes to the dead address, or you're burning tokens. Okay, if you're in the 5 to 6 year locks, you're going to keep 80%. If you're in the 10-year lock, you're going to keep 100%. You guys want to know a juicy little trick? Lock 1 day into the next higher tier, and you will earn from that tier. You guys catch that? Why would you go lock 10 years, 3,650 days, when you can knock 364 days off of that? You know, it's 364 days, man. It goes by faster the older you are. Yeah. But it's still 364 days. I mean, come on. Why would you do that? You know, why would you go, well, I did. I went 3,600. I went big. But once I learned that trick, then I went 1 day, and one should go to like 7 days. Go 7 days into the next year just to be safe, in case there's a leap year built into the contract, which I don't believe there is. Okay, so that's the lock-in tiers. All right, guys, we are ready. I think we covered everything about pTGC on the DApp. Now we're going to talk about UFO. And again, got questions? That's what I'm here for. I will answer your question. You can also ask them in the Telegram. Here's the Telegram. And there are guys in there 24/7, 365. They're almost like bots. And they'll answer your questions. Okay, so we're going to segue over to UFO, which is a shorter presentation. Not that UFO should be, not that we're minimizing it, not that it should be underestimated. UFO, I have high expectations and high hopes and a reason to believe that UFO is going to crush it, maybe even versus pTGC. We don't know. pTGC was around when Pulse did a 4x and it did a 42x. UFO wasn't around at that time. So we haven't seen any price performance in Pulse and that reflected in UFO like we have in pTGC. So it's going to be very interesting. And I think I have reason to believe that UFO. Why? Why could UFO perhaps outperform pTGC? Well, it has thicker liquidity than pTGC. It has like maybe 15, 20%. I haven't looked at it in a while. Thicker liquidity, but it also has more liquidity with RH tickers than pTGC. So who knows? We're going to find out. We are going to find out. And it's going to be fun. I'm so excited, guys. Yeah, me too, JP. Bullish on UFO. So what's the difference? How does UFO stand out? Well, you can hold the token to earn reflections. Okay, listen, guys, you can hold it to earn reflections without having to share those reflections with yield farmers. So the yield farmers, the ones that are LPing their UFO with an RH ticker, are not earning reflections. And you know, when this token launched, there was a lot of people that went heavy in LPing UFO, myself included. And what happened is over the course of time, we found out that the guys that are simply just holding the tokens are earning about 5 times more APY than the guys that are LPing, even though there's only 1% going to the holders, but 3% goes to the LP providers. I mean, go figure. Well, that's one of the advantages of holding UFO is you're going to make pretty high APY. But again, we don't know what's going to happen in the future with that APY. It could change, and it probably will. Well, the liquidity providers are strongly incentivized to stay in the pools. Why? Because if they pull out, like if they unpair, if they break their LP and the price were to drop, others would rush in to scoop up the discounted supply. Yeah, and then they would pair their assets with UFO and get share rates. And we're going to talk about share rates and how that plays into all this. So we already talked about that. It has twice the liquidity pairs with RH tickers. Yeah, I need to confirm that, actually. Maybe somebody can do it. Go to secretobank.com and just check it out while I'm streaming or something. I don't mind if you guys, acid test anything I'm saying. You're not going to offend me. Maybe for a second, but it don't last. There you go. That's from an OG himself. He's day one UFO guy, been studying this, and he claims that Shaka, the most underrated token on the chain. It's not twice. Okay, I need to fix that slide then. Yeah, I thought it was like wrong. I don't know. I didn't change that slide. I don't know how I would just not even notice that. Fix UFO LP slide. Okay. I do not like to publish incorrect information, so we'll fix that right away. Okay. Moving along. Very bullish on UFO. Okay, so the next thing is, here's the slide I was telling you about, the superpowers. All right, you guys ready for this? Okay, thanks, Shaka. He's going to send the recent numbers. Okay, I told you about the superpowers and the alien tech that each of these tokens has. All right, we're going to line it out on this slide right here. I just built this yesterday, the day before. Check this out, guys. All right, pTGC on the left, UFO on the right. pTGC has 2 alien techs. It's those AMM bots balancing the pairs, and the fact that more is going into the system than is coming out of the system. Its superpower is user-centric. That's you. And that is the locking. We're going to talk about that when we get to the locking. Did we? Oh, we did. We got to back up to the DApp. Oh, man, I missed a whole section about, I'm looking at my notes. I'm trying to figure out why. Yeah. Oh, give me a second, guys. I don't mess this up in the next presentation. Hold on. Just enjoy the slide, I guess. All right. So we'll back up after this slide. It's the locking for pTGC, hands down. That's the superpower, and it's you that can take advantage of that. And UFO, it has 1 alien tech, just 1. It's the AMM bots. It operates the same way as pTGC, but it has 2 superpowers. Yeah. Its thickest LP is with pTGC. Yeah. We saw it on Secreto Bank. Its thickest LP is with pTGC. And then its other superpower is U-centric. It's the share rates. And we're going to talk about that. But we got to get back. We got to actually go back to the DApp for pTGC. And then we're going to catapult over to UFO. And we'll finish UFO. Okay. Actually, I don't think I need to even share my screen or share that screen. Yeah. So there's some things that you need to understand about basically this will be pretty brief. There are some differences between holding and staking and locking. Big differences. Okay, the AMM bots are active doing this. Humans got to make the lock-in rewards happen. That's thing one. The thing two, which leads to the superpower for locking for all the lockers, is like, remember I told you like there's that $1,000 transaction, and out of the $50 that's paid in the fee, some of that goes to holders and stakers. Well, the contract can only buy so many tokens, right? And send it to the holders and stakers. And so it's buying tokens at the value that tokens are priced at today, obviously. Okay. Because that transaction happens right now. But the locking rewards are very different. Whenever somebody unlocks a bag of pTGC and forfeits 30% of their principal to all the other lockers, the contract doesn't care what the value of those tokens are. It's going to send tokens to all the other lockers based on their proportion of the locking pool. And those tokens can be worth nothing. They can be worth a lot. Contract don't care. So what does that mean? That means that it could be a highly lucrative, undertaking, however you want to put it. Locking pTGC tokens could be very lucrative. So that's the differences. All right, let's look at this here. LP with RH tickers from pTGC. Woo. Let's call that 3 million. I'm going to call that 3 million. pTGC has 3 million in LP with RH tickers. UFO has 4.6. That's a big, there you go. Thank you for the percent. UFO is, there it is, 54% more LP with RH tokens. That's big. That's a big deal. I think that's a big deal. I mean, if it's, oh, good grief, man. Yeah. I think UFO is a monster. It's a monster. Makes me think of a song, Monster Mash. All right, guys, let's get back on track here. We did that. That's superpower. How about that superpower slide? That I knew because I was meditating and I was like, there's something missing about UFO. Like it needs to have another, so it can be balanced, right? So each of them has 1 and 2, right? Yeah, 1 superpower and 2 alien techs, or 1 alien tech and 2 superpowers. That's how it works. It's cool. I don't even know if it was planned that way, but it sure ended up that way. Right. I want to show you, but we got to go through the DApp. We got to get onto the DApp. Let me remove this and get the next slide going. Okay. So we're going to look at UFO on the DApp right now. And that's at the same site, PulseTGC.com. But you're going to select UFO token right here. Click on it. And then, like I said, with UFO, you can do 2 things. You can hold it and LP it with an RH ticker. If you want to LP, then you would come down and click on UFO liquidity pools. And here are your options for LPing. You can LP UFO and pTGC. I do not recommend it. And by the way, if you want the rewards for LPing, you need to LP from this DApp. Otherwise, you will forfeit your rewards. Oh, and by the way, if you guys need to claim your rewards before you move any tokens or anything like that. Okay. Like claim your tokens before you end your stake. Claim your your pulse rewards before you unpair. Otherwise, those pulse rewards go bye-bye. I don't know where they go, but they disappear. They go somewhere, but not into your wallet. So make sure you claim before you unpair. Okay, and you need to use the dApp to pair. Otherwise, you forfeit rewards. Hi, SC. Good to see you. Now, if you decide to pair UFO and pTGC, you are going to pay 5% for pTGC and 6% for UFO going into that pair, because UFO came out after pTGC, and there was just no way to go fix and make it to where those tokens were whitelisted for this dApp. Okay, but for the other pairs, you will not pay any fee on your UFO going into an LP, and you can pair Hex, eHex, Inc, PulseX, Pulse, or pDAI. Oh, what else do I want to say about this? Okay, we're just going to look at, I think that was it. So we're going to look at one pool here. Let's see. I think I have a pool. I have a different wallet connected, so I'm just kind of second guessing myself. Okay, yeah, I actually have a share of this pool. So if you wanted to, for example, pair Pulse with UFO, you would select manage pool like I just did, select add liquidity. You're going to have to add equal portions of both sides. Select add liquidity, sign it in your wallet. And then once that's done, like what I would do is I would want to see it. I would want to confirm that I actually have that LP. So you would click on UFO token, select UFO PLP rewards, scroll down, and we'll wait for this to populate. Okay, and here's that. What was that? That was a PLS pool, wasn't it? UFO and PLS. And here it is. There is your LP. Now, on this dApp, you see that this wallet has earned 6.6 million UFO in reflections and 142,320 PLS for LPing, because PLS is the reward token for LPing UFO with those other tickers. It seems like I'm missing something. It seems like I'm missing something about this. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. All right, now we talked about the superpower for UFO, and that the superpower is the share rate. So here's the share rate where you can see it. Okay, well, let's go to the PLS one. So when you enter the pool, like this person input 8,898,422 UFO into the pool, and therefore he garnered that same number in UFO shares. So the UFO shares are an exact reflection of how much UFO you put into the pool. So if you put 1 million UFO into a pairing with whatever asset and pair it up, you're going to have 1 million UFO shares. And that number will never change unless you unpair. And that number determines how much yield you get from the 3% that goes to LP providers. So pretty cool that it doesn't change, it stays fixed unless you unpair. And we think that is the superpower of UFO, because we think that those share rates are going to become highly valuable going into the future. Like I got some UFO shares at the beginning of last year, and I think Shotgun probably feels the same, may never unpair those bondings because they pay Pulse. They pay Pulse. It's the layer 1 token. You can take Pulse anywhere. And we think they're going to reward massively going into the cycle and become very valuable in the future. And I did a little experiment to illustrate this. What I did was, and I have an experimental UFO pairing of 1 million UFO. So it has exactly 1 million UFO shares. And I simulated unpairing that UFO. So check this out. At the time that I did this experiment, there were 300,000 UFO in that pairing. Why? Impermanent loss. So I lost UFO, but I gained PLS. All right. So that's a bummer. We don't like losing our alpha token UFO, but we are not losing our UFO share. So on this day that I did this experiment, the UFO was worth $7.40 and the Pulse was worth $7.40. And if I decided, so in this example, like I unpaired it, and then I have, $15 worth of tokens there. And then let's say I decided that I wanted my UFO shares back. I'm like, oh man, I really like the cash flow from those UFO that the UFO shares are giving me. And now I don't have it. I got these tokens, but they're worth $15. I just want the cash flow. Well, if I wanted to get back up to 1 million UFO shares, right where it was, I would have to buy 700,000 UFO, which at the time would have cost me $17. And I'd also have to buy 435,000 PLS, $17. And that would cost, so it would cost me an additional $34 if I unpaired and decided I want the exact share rate back. It cost me $34 additional to get that share rate back. Can you imagine what it's going to be like 6 months or a year from now? What if I do that experiment then? And you can bet I will. What is it going to look like? What's it going to look like? Yep, there he goes. No chance I'll give up those share rates. And the facts are, share rates are still cheap based on where this could head. Exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. So with Pulse still, where is it? It's like half a SAC price right now. Less than half a SAC price, like 35% of SAC price, something like that. Pulse hasn't done nothing. Can I say it like I don't have an education? Pulse hasn't done nothing. So pTGC and UFO are on sale. The share rates are very inexpensive, in my opinion, compared to where they're going. So if you're thinking in your head, well, I didn't get it in as early as Shaka and the Prairie Banana, so I'm just gonna let it go. Well, you might want to just reconsider and perhaps speculate on some share rates. And like what a lot of us have done is we decided like 50-50. I'm going to hodl tokens, 50% of them, and then the rest I'm going to flip into LP. And by the way, putting those tokens into an LP is a good way to save yourself from yourself. It's delayed gratification because, man, I do not dare touch my LPs. I don't dare touch them. I haven't even seen how they perform in a bull run yet. I'm saving myself from myself. So glad I did it at the time that I did. Oh, here's another thing. If you think you're late, I got into this ecosystem in early 2024 and I thought I was late. There was everybody that the moment I got in, everybody else had gotten in before me. That's really deep. But now that I've been in here a while, and it took a while to get some days, weeks, and months behind me, it took some time. But every day that goes on now, every month that passes, I got in earlier. So there's your admonition to, if you're on the fence, if you're in here kicking the tires, investigating, and you're thinking about it, action trumps everything. My favorite saying, action trumps everything. You will be in here. You'll be an OG. If you get in today, imagine me being able to say, I got in before the second time that Pulse ran up to its SAC rate. I got in before and caught the 10,000x of Pulse or 1,000x or 500 or whatever it is that Pulse is going to do. And I was in pTGC at that time. That's the opportunity that's in front of us, in my opinion, right now. There's my unpairing illustration. Okay. We are going to, you know what? Let me look into and see what's happening. I think we're good. We're just going to go. Oh, hold up. We can do some things here. Okay. Yep. We're going to do moon math. We're in. All right. What do you guys think Pulse can do in this bull run? Give me some numbers in the chat. Like, can it do it? A 2, 10, 100, 500,000. What is it going to do? What's it going to do? And by the way, let's go to Pampy. let's go to pampy.app. I'm going to show you guys a trick. But I want to hear from you first. What do you think Pulse can do? While I explain the X multiplier after I get a sip of water. So, X multiplier. In the last year, I told you that pTGC has done 25x against PulseChain. 100x. We got a number. Thank you, JP. And you guys can throw your numbers in there too. pTGC done 25x against Pulse. That's the multiplier. And it did like, what was it? Like 15x in terms of USD. So you take 15 times 25, and that's whatever that is, 350. 15 times 25, 375. That's 375x for pTGC. Man, I can't believe we did a 25x against Pulse, because now I'm going to put 12 in the multiplier field in this calculator. So here we go. Here's the calculator. We're going to select pTGC PLS. I'm going to put 12 here as the X factor. Why is it not? There we go. Okay. 12x. Let's just say pTGC is going to move up against Pulse at a factor of 12, just like it has. And like JP suggests, Pulse is going to do 100x. That's going to be 100 times 12, or 1200x. You could take that 1200 times the price, but this calculator does it for you. And the final price is 44 cents. Okay, there's a lot of people in this ecosystem that are going to be very happy that they bought at these levels when this happens. If this happens. And I think it will. I do. 44 cents. What? Now let's go to Pampy. I got to show you guys this. Watch this. This is a price simulator, and it's built by a hexagon. And what it does is it takes let me make sure we're doing this right. What it does is it takes the reserve, what do you call it? The SAC money, and it simulates splitting it into the core assets, Hex, Pulse, PulseX, and Inc. And what we can do is, let's say the OA flips this SAC money into these 4 core assets, evenly split, but he does it when Ethereum is at 7,000. Let's calculate. And what we'll see is how many X's Pulse will do if we injected that money into Pulse into Pulse. 23,000x, 23,175. Now what we can do is go back to the calculator with that 23,000, and that's if SAC money comes in at $7,000 of ETH, and all of it's deposited on the network, split into those 4 assets, 23,000x. So I'm always conflicted. 23,175x, because I mean, are we going to continue to do a 25x against the layer 1? We already cut it in half. Let's make it 5. Let's make the X factor 5, just to be conservative. Calculate. That'd be looks like a $43 pTGC. Did you guys see that? I'm glad I was sitting down when I brought that $43 pTGC. If all the SAC money came onto the chain, was split between all 4 assets at Ethereum price of $7,000, and pTGC continued to move up only at 5x, but it's done 25x in the last year. Guys, just takes your breath away, man. It's stinking amazing. That's pTGC. What about Pulse? I mean, what about UFO? Let's do it. Beast Whale. I missed this one. Me personally, it's tough DCing into a token that you take an L on every time you buy. You have to bring lump sums to make it sense. Sure. But go back to the beginning of the video where I show how much stays in the system and how much can be extracted. I mean, when you're buying these assets, you're literally helping to build the assets that you just bought a portion of. With 2% going to the Dow, you're burning tokens, and it's literally only 5%. And you know what I've done, Beast Will, is like in the past, is like if I lost tokens on a purchase or knowing that I was going to lose 5%, I just added 5% on top of the 100% that I was going to buy. I've done that before. You know, that like help my conscience. I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend a little extra because I want this number. You know what I mean? Oh, and by the way, guys, buy from a wallet you want to store your assets on, because if you move them, you got to pay 5%, which goes to everybody. Like Beast Whale. If you hold these tokens, you'll be receiving those part of that 5% too. All right, run, dream, achieve. Yes, but everyone would sell if he did that. Not everybody. I agree. I agree with you somewhat. And I hold that back in the back of my head too. Like, well, if he pumps the chain, everybody's going to sell. If he pumps the chain, it's going to draw a lot of attention to the chain. And then as the attention comes, so come speculators, and they pump the chain. And yeah, people are going to be taking profits. Absolutely. But everybody, no, I beg to differ on that one. But that's a fair point. That's a very valid point, but a lot of people probably sell. But actually, you know what is left this cycle to speculate on? Like if you're a high speculator, if you want to get really speculative, well, there's PulseChain. So like, I'm staying. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to take profits at the right time, I hope. But yeah, I'm going to be one of those people. If he pumps the chain, I'm going to take some profits. Yeah. But I'm not taking all of my profits, dude. No way. And not everybody's going to do the same thing. If RH threw SAC funds into the 4 main cores, everyone would sell for profits, knocking the prices back down big time. You know, maybe. I don't think so though. I mean, yeah. We'll find out. Maybe he never even has to put those SAC funds in. That'd be cool. Let's just pump the chain naturally, right, from onboarding. Reality is most guys are losing at least 3% on their average token due to low LP slippage anyhow. Yep. Yeah. Good man, Dream. Run, Dream. Yep. All right. We got to move on. We're gonna look at UFO. It's gonna be the same thing, guys. Except UFO has not done the number of X's against the L1 that pTGC has. So we're gonna do an X factor for UFO. We'll do an X factor of 5, and then we'll do that 100X on PulseChain, and that would be a 500X for UFO, almost a penny. I mean, just short of a penny. Okay. Now, that's the Moon Math calculator. Let's do another calculator, shall we? Let's do the reflections. We're going to simulate reflections for pTGC and UFO for 100 million pTGC. You click on experimental mode, $10 million in volume. Okay, we get our reflection rewards and our staking rewards from volume on the network. And so we're going to simulate that with this calculator. And we're going to do both these tokens. So 100 million, let's say you hold 100 million tokens liquid. This doesn't simulate the staking rewards. Don't mistake. This will only show us the reflections. So this gentleman, this wallet would earn 33% in APY. He would earn 91,000 pTGC per day, or $33. And imagine like the price 10x's from here. The value of those tokens just jumped to $330. And that's at $10 million in volume. We got to see that for this to happen. UFO, let's do same number, 100 million tokens, $10 million in volume. And we can play around these volume numbers, but we're really not going to right now. 210% APY. And he would earn $10 in tokens per day, or 576,000 UFO tokens coming into his wallet for free, just for hodling the tokens. What's the other? We're going to look at locking rewards. All right, guys. This is the big daddy right here. We're about to see the superpower of pTGC. It's the locking rewards. You guys get ready. Hold on. Oh, let's go. Lock calculator. So we know from history, we know from studying this asset and the lockers that in the last year, people have unlocked an average of 395 million tokens in any given 30-day period. We don't know that's going to happen in the future, but I have actually had an opposing view about whether people are actually going to unlock as the cycle goes up. But I'm flipping my view on that because I actually think that people will be unlocking a lot as we go into the cycle. And so, but let's just speculate for this example that it's 395 million early unlocked in any given 30-day period. And that what this calculator is going to let us do is it's going to let us put in your bag quantity that you have locked, the percent that you have, they are earning. Like if you're in a 9-year locks, you're earning 90%. And then we can input a future price, which is the really cool fun part because we know this thing's going up. So what is my bag? What is my locked bag going to be worth at whatever price when 395 million tokens are early and locked in the month of August or whatever? Okay. So here we go. 395 million tokens. Let's say you have 100 million locked and the price ran up, and it right now in this 30-day period, it was 35 cents. And you're in the 90% category. How many dollars? It's going to show you how many tokens the calculator is, but it's also going to show you the dollar value of those tokens at 35 cents. $26,780 in 30 days. That just about makes you in the top 1%. Sort of. 26,780 times 12. Dude, that's $321,360. That's $321,000. Just watched a video by what is his name? The big dude that started in the gym industry. Ty. Oh, what's his name? Somebody in the chat tell me. But he's a business guy. And he did a video. Watched it with my wife last night. And he's explaining like, all right, I've done all this. I've had the private jet. I had the exotic car. I had the penthouse. I had the $500 steak and like the Gucci stuff. He says, and I could take it or leave it. Actually, he don't even like his exotic cars. He's got 2 of them. He says, this is how you can live by the ultra wealthy. You do all those things. And that's the ultra wealthy. They do all that stuff. Guess what it costs per year if you put all that on payments? It was like $350,000 to live like the ultra wealthy. Well, there's your $350,000 in locking rewards just from 100 million pTGC at 35 cents. What if we go higher? Whoa, shall we? Shall we? We just saw how this thing can go to 44 cents. All right. Let's say you can get 10 million. Let's just tone it down a little bit. Calm down, Prairie Banana. And we went to $10. $76,000. I know some of you guys might be a little upset that I'm using such big numbers. I know it's crazy. But I only have so much time, and I don't want to spend time on the small numbers. You can do division. Figure it out for yourself. If you want smaller numbers, start dividing those ones. Oh, guys, I don't mean to offend nobody. There you go. Yes, a lot will sell, but also a lot will buy at the new highs. Liberty Finance is going to be a game changer for on-ramping. I used it yesterday. I flipped from EUSDC to PUSDC like that. I didn't have to bridge, none of that. And today, did you see what they got? You can flip from EUSDC, I think it's EUSDC to PulseX. They got a list. So you don't just have to go to USDC anymore. You can, and it's only going to get better. And they're bringing on, I think it's already existing, like security, like privacy. You're going to be able to not track every transaction is going to be a separate wallet address, and we're going to have privacy. And I think I know who's behind all that. And I'm really, you know why he's doing that, guys? You know why Liberty Finance come out with all this privacy? I figured it out yesterday. Because our bags are getting ready to be pumped and we're going to be taking profit. And we don't want people tracking how big our bags are or what we're doing with our profit. There you go. That's why that thing is coming out at a time like this. Perry Banana speaking truth. He thinks. All right, guys. That's the last of the calculators. All right, let's check out some performance. Built these slides last week, this week. How are these tokens performing against the layer one versus some other tokens? pTGC is up 7,110x against the L1. And this is, look at the notes from the bottom. That's taken from the second week to the all-time high. And mind you, PulseChain has been sideways the whole time. Thank you, Beach Whale. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your confirmation of my affirmation. UFO is up 366x against the L1. Hex is at 2.7. PulseX is up 2.65. And Ink is up 0.4. And I'm not dissing those tokens. It's just facts. Okay. pTGC outperforms the core assets. Okay. So pTGC PLS is up 7,110x. pTGC PulseX. Okay, and this is it against the paired asset. So pTGC versus Pulse 7,000, pTGC versus PulseX up 425x versus Hex 970x versus Ink up 50x. And again, that's taken from the second week. Hey, good to have a good day, Shaka. See you later, man. NJW, hopefully you mean EUSWE, well, whatever it was. I got it over to PulseChain effectively. Okay. And then, yeah, I mean, check it out, guys. Look at these numbers. I just pulled these numbers last week. UFO even outperforms the core assets. And I think we're going to see an improvement in this. It's not as impactful, is it? But still 34x against WPLS, 21 against PulseX, Hex, and then Ink up 54x. Now, this is a new slide. Somebody had me build it. Let's take a second to run through it. pTGC average daily volume, because it leads, this is the first of a series of 3 slides. So the average daily volume, for historical reference, has been $360,000. The average liquidity pool, $8 million, value generated $3.25 million. And that's across, that's a 6-month total. So you can increase volume by adding LP, increasing buy pressure, or increasing the base assets. The projected daily volume. Okay, let's do some projections of volume. A 10x in LP increase from $8 million to $80 million equals a daily volume of $3.6 million. 100x increase equals $36 million. So here's the annual fee generation from the 5% for pTGC. At 30, let's just go with the $36 million in daily volume. That would be $657 million in fee generation annually at $36 million in volume. Are we going to have that much volume? Somebody thinks we are going to. I have my hesitations. I have my reservations, but I'm not as experienced or as intelligent as this somebody that thinks that thinks we could. Next slide. So this $36 million per day, it turns into a fee machine with $263 million going to the Dow, guys. $263 million going to the Dow. $131 million paid to holders. LP ads, $65.7 million. These are big numbers, guys. $130.1.4 million to stakers and $65.7 million paid to to buy and burn tokens. That's big. Okay, here is the annual holder and staker rewards at that volume, 36 million. A whale would earn $2.6 million, a shark $262,000, and a dolphin $26,000, squid $2,600. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, next slide is going to illustrate how we could burn $128 million in tokens in a year between pTGC and UFO if we had just $10 million in volume. Watch this. The Dow burns 2% or $200,000 every day. pTGC naturally burns 0.5% or $50,000 every day. UFO burns 1% of pTGC, which is $100,000 every day. So the yearly total would be $128,000, million dollars, and that would be buy pressure sent to the dead wallet. And that'd have to be $10 million of volume every single day. But you know what we did? We did a little experiment live on stream here. If you buy it, and you can do it with the calculator at looking at pTGC, you put in, I'm going to buy $128 million worth of pTGC. It runs the price up to like 50 cents, something like that. So what that means is if we don't even do that experiment, if we have $10 million in volume on the network, effectively, that's where the price is going, in my opinion. So there you have it. There you have it, guys. All right, I'm looking for my next. I'm just kind of thinking. Just bear with me here. Here, check this out. Check this out. I did another little experiment, and I looked at from last August to the following just this past April. PulseChain's volume dropped 38%. pTGC's volume increased 8x, and its price increased 533%. What do you think that means, guys, for when Pulse makes its run? The implications are strong of what both of these tokens are going to do when Pulse makes its run. Here's another slide. Market cap comparison. I just did this just a few weeks ago. pTGC is up 782% from May 2024 to June 2025. That second one is PulseX, but I'm going to leave the other ones unnamed. So PulseX beat UFO, but UFO hasn't been around as long as Pulse has. So that's the handicap I'm going to give UFO. And then you can see the other ones. You could probably guess what those tokens are, but I'm just not going to say them out loud. We don't do that in this ecosystem. We're going to, you know what are we doing on time? Yeah, we're going to skip a little bit of stuff here. We're going to skip some stuff. All right, guys. Oh, see creature position costs. Let's do that. For pTGC, let's look at the shark position. For pTGC, it's excuse me, $8,500. For UFO, it's $1,600. There's your shark positions to buy a position. Let me see a second. Okay. All right. Let me get my eyes on where we're at. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we've done everything. I think we've done it all. I got a few more closing comments, but I want to basically, I want to close with this. Oh, we do need to talk about how to buy. Go to PulseX, pulsex.com or app.pulsex. Whatever it is, and set your slippage for pTGC, set it to 6%. For UFO, set it to 7%. And use the auto router. Make sure to reset your slippage after you transact. I didn't do that yesterday. I did not check my slippage and I got wrecked. I didn't check all my settings and I got wrecked doing something. Just happened yesterday. I think in a few weeks, months, I won't even remember that. But just be careful when you're transacting. Use your head. Don't be distracted. Go to PulseX. And if you need help getting over to the Pulse network, Liberty Swap Financial is your go-to. Just find them on X and go to their website. You can literally flip. You can come from several different chains straight to PulseChain through Liberty Swap, and it's fast. And if you need to if you need to come over from Ethereum, like I bought some Ethereum with MoonPay. I just got it from MoonPay. That's how I did it. And if you need to off ramp, there's OX Coast, or on ramp too. You can on ramp from OX Coast. Okay. And then hold on, guys. All right. There's something like one comment I want to leave you with is that pTGC and UFO are the golden goose of crypto. They're cash flowing machines. They have never been tested in the environment that they're about to go into. They were designed to be cash flowing machines, to be something that you can hold and center your lifestyle around from the revenue, the APY that comes off of these machines. As long as you hodl these assets, as long as we have a good network that we're riding on, you will be earning APY from these machines. And here's another thing. You have let's say you have a principal bag of pTGC or UFO. Because these tokens are deflationary, okay, the supply is continually being reduced, and you hodl your bag grows, your position is going to grow relative to the reducing supply. But at the same time, you are earning yield. So you're not only growing relative to the reducing supply, but your bag size is growing relative to the reducing supply. You can take all of your yield home. You can take it all. You can take it off the network to your bank. Do whatever you want with it, and your yield and your principal position will continue to inflate. That's how it works, guys. I'm not even kidding. It's a good deal. We think it's going to be very lucrative going into this cycle. Where do I think we are right now in this cycle? I think that with PulseChain well below SAC price, with there being low volume on the network, with RH moving and shaking, 5 shipping containers worth of mailers, and Liberty Swap Financial heating things up, and other things happening, and some things that we haven't even heard about yet, perhaps some unknowns, perhaps. Okay, with Bitcoin moving around, I think we're at the bottom of this chain, and I think that things are about to get exciting. What does that mean for pTGC and UFO? I like to refer to them as a machine, like a high performance Lamborghini at a stoplight. And you're sitting there, you got the clutch down, and you're in second gear because you're going to burn it in second gear. And you're like just revving the engine a little bit. That's where these machines are. But when this network kicks off, you're going to release that clutch and punch the gas. Smoke them tires. They're going to be up to 220 miles an hour in no time flat. That's pTGC and UFO on PulseChain, a full-blown bull run right there. Yeah, guys, I truly believe that's where we're at in this cycle. If you're excited about pTGC and UFO, join our Gold Circle Space Force. Go to that same site I showed you before. Look into, Secreto Bank. SecretoBank.com. Upload your profile, and you got it's / profile, I think. Upload your profile picture, adjust it, download it, and then upload it to Twitter, Telegram, and YouTube. What's it going to do? It's going to put in a very attractive gold circle around your profile picture, and it's going to, and we're like a unified community over here in the Grays currencies. So do that if you can. If you can't, that's okay too. Some people do it for strategic reasons. I'll be with your question here in just a minute, Run Dream. And another thing is we have these meetings. We have 6 meetings every week. We have this ecosystem walkthrough twice a week, Wednesday and Sunday, spaces on Saturday and Monday, voice chats on Tuesdays and Thursday. There you go. We got 6 opportunities for you guys to interact with myself and Zen, the founder. You can also jump into Telegram, ask any questions. I'm going to leave that up. All right. Run, dream, achieve. So a shark position in pTGC is 85,000. Yes, it's about 85,000 bucks. It's probably more than that right now. Let's have a look. A shark position is, here we go. I'm going to show my screen. Run, dream, achieve. A shark position is 290 million tokens. So that's 106,000 right now. Yeah, so my slide is dated because we pumped since yesterday. You're welcome, man. Appreciate you. All right, guys, that's it, man. I mean, if you guys got any questions, it's probably too late to pop them in the chat. No, I'll give you one last second. We got spaces on Saturday. The spaces is wonderful on Saturdays. It's my favorite interaction with the community is on the Saturday spaces. Zen is there. You can talk to him. Come up and talk. We love it when you guys come up and talk. You can, I mean, just tell us how pTGC or UFO has changed your life, where you think it's going, you know, who you're onboarding or whatever, you know, come up and talk on spaces. That'll be Saturday. All right. No questions. All right. Let's get out of here. Have a good week, guys. And if you have any other questions, you can DM me or you can ask them in the Telegram. Have a great day, guys. See you later.